Mm. Whew. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great holiday weekend. I am back home and doing all kinds of stuff. Fish pond got a little bit clogged up there, so I had to clean the drain out. Been working in the workshop some on butcher block countertops for the red brick house and getting caught up on everything that is the Dallas Cowboys. And it is a holiday weekend, and Dak Prescott is in the Bahamas. As they say, it's better in the Bahamas, playing roulette, and I'm sure having a ball because he's earned it. He's definitely earned it. And you know what's funny? Because it doesn't matter what Dak Prescott and crew does, they're always going to get shade. You look at like the Mike McCarthy list from earlier. I was talking about today with Mike McCarthy being the 21st power rated coach in the NFL. And I'm sitting here looking at this list, and I'm kind of like, him and Sean Payton, quite frankly, are the same guys. Record-wise, seriously. Both of them had a Hall of Fame quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees. Both of them won a Super Bowl. In fact, Mike McCarthy's won a Super Bowl years after Sean Payton. Sean Payton, you could actually look and say, he had some monster teams the last few years he had in New Orleans and didn't get it done. Didn't get it done. I'm talking like 13-3 teams. But be that as it may, we know how that goes with the Dallas Cowboys. What's going to be cool is the Dallas Cowboys, towards the end of the Jason Garrett era, and I say error because it was an error to keep him for as long as we did, the Cowboys got old. Jason Witten, Dez Bryant, the end of his career and things. We had a lot of players that were long in the tooth, so to speak. And the philosophy was the ground and pound. The Cowboys have changed that. The Cowboys in front of our eyes, and people don't even realize, this is one of those things that I say that you have to actually look at the Cowboys organization and understand that we got rid of a coach 3 seasons ago and we've completely rebuilt the roster. And as bad as 2020 was, losing Dak Prescott and losing Tyron Smith, that team was still in contention, as bad as our division was, going into the last couple of games. No, it wasn't. Well, it was. They still had a chance because, what was it, 7-9 won the division? I guess they were. They were still competitive, okay? But since that time, the Cowboys have turned over the roster without us bottoming out. The last 2 years, we've been 12-5. The fact that you were able to change all the talent. We went from slow, old Jason Witten to nobodies and tight ends to having 3 really young guys. We went from Dez Bryant, long in the tooth, and the Cole Beasleys and the Terrence Williams to now Brandon Cooks and CD, along with Michael Gallup, who now has a bounce in his step. We went from Zeke Elliott, who we've been talking about since Cabo, losing a step and basically not having that second gear where he's got a lane and he's getting caught from behind, to now having a Deuce Vaughn, having a Tony Pollard, who's now finally healthy. Let's hope, knock on wood, he can stay healthy. Michael Gallup, who's finally healthy, who should get separation. And here's the thing that's really good to hear. Dak Prescott haters are not going to give any quarter to Dak Prescott looking at the receiving core that couldn't get off the blocks. It makes a difference if a receiver's got a 3, 4, 5 yard opening than it does throwing in tight windows where people are draped all over you. When you're getting hit as you're catching the football, you're more apt to knock it up in the air, to have it dropped, and so on. But what Dak Prescott has said, at least with OTAs thus far, is the speed and the get off of the players. And my friends, that is key. You think the cheetah is great because he can't get out? He's great because he's gone. He gets separation. Tyreek Hill, you can't stay with him, and it makes the quarterback's job that much easier. We didn't have that except with CeeDee Lamb last year. The other thing that I think is going to be big for this team, I'm trying to remember, in the second go-round of Joe Gibbs, his offensive coordinator, was it Al Saunders or something like that? It was something great. I think it was Al Saunders. But I remember about them boasting about the 400-page playbook. We got a 400-page playbook. Well, I got to tell you, here's the problem with that. It's kind of like Mike Nolan, who was like, we're a 3-4-4-3 and this, that, and the other. You don't want to make things too complex. Sometimes you can outsmart yourself. What's the acronym? Keep it simple, stupid. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Because here's the thing with football. With football, the blink of an eye is enough to get burned. If a player, and this is the big problem with Mike Nolan's, and Jalen Smith actually said it, it's too complex. There's doubt. Where am I supposed to be? If I'm sitting here going to the line and I'm thinking, where am I supposed to be? And you're unsure, that's enough for somebody to blow past you. What's my assignment? And with the combination routes that we did with Kellen Moore, they open yourselves up to big plays. And see, understand, here's what it is the quarterback is reading the receiver and the defensive back, right? The receiver is reading the defensive back. And he's going to be making a double move. Understand that I'm calling the play, I'm calling for the ball, and I'm reading 4 guys that are doing double moves. I get my first read, second read, third read, fourth read. And I may have to come back. That play, you got about 2.5 seconds to read before somebody's on your ass. If the receiver sees something different than the quarterback, that's where you see, what was he throwing to? Oh, what a bad pass. Well, how about it wasn't necessarily a bad pass as it was miscommunication? Because the quarterback's thinking you're going to be there and you're down there. Think about what Cedric Wilson, there were quite a few times where Cedric Wilson is going downfield and he's looking one way and Dak is throwing to the other shoulder. And then he has to try and make that move to go over because it's miscommunication between the receiver and the quarterback. Those things make a difference. And if you simplify some of that, and this is where some of the stuff from the West Coast offense will come in handy. We're eliminating the multiple combinations. You're going to be at this spot, boom, right now. 1, 2, 3, boom. And you better be at that spot because that's where the ball's coming. It keeps the quarterback upright because the rush doesn't have enough time to get there. It gets the ball in the hands where the guy's momentum is carrying him downfield. And now you have guys who are fast enough to get off the ball, because that don't work if you got me out there gimpy, okay? If you put me out there as a wide receiver and I'm trying to get to it ain't going to happen. But now, for once, we got the guys that can do that. And now we have a guy who's hopefully going to say, you know what? This shit here, get rid of it. This shit here, get rid of it. This one we like. And they're going to play to the strengths that they have. But back to that Al Saunders offense that literally was a disaster for the Washington Redskins at the time, now Commanders, who, mind you, the Commanders, oh boy, the Commanders, the copyright, trademarking, couldn't get it done. They don't own the rights to the name. So they may have to change their name again. But that is what it is. That's such a Washington thing. Be that as it may. It was a disaster because it was too complex. So I'm looking forward to the team being healthy to start the season, and the team being fast and not being as complex. I think the combination of all of that is going to make that offense even more deadly. And we'll see about all these talking heads out here that are saying that Dak Prescott is wherever he is as a quarterback and Mike McCarthy is 21st as a head coach and all that crap. Oh boy. Feels good to be home. Feels good to be home. This is crazy. So much has changed. It was 20 years ago this weekend that we started moving into this house. Michaela and Aisha were in elementary school. Mike was in junior high. And we became a blended family this weekend. We closed on the house on the Friday of Memorial Weekend. And it has now been 20 years. Within the first week, I started digging out the fish pond. We gutted out the downstairs, put the bathroom in there, and built that space, and the bedroom that's in there. And it's been a beautiful thing being here, watching my kids grow up and growing older. I said older, I didn't say old, with my wife Tracy. People will say I'm lucky. I will say I am blessed, but I will say you make your luck. You make your luck with hard work. I'm not that bright. I'm not good looking. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. But what I have is I have my hands, I have my mind, and I can bust my ass. The thing is with me, because we got this house. This house needed a lot of work. This house sat on the market for a long time because it needed a lot of work. It was crazy. Harry homeowner, the bathroom, oh my God. It was like they went through and said, give me all the clearance tiles that you have, because there was white, glossy white, satin white, black, green, just throw all kinds of tiles in the wall. There was white and green marble diagonal put up, but uneven and stuff. It was so much work on this house. But that's what I do. I take something that nobody else wants, that most people look at and say, it's not worthwhile. Why are you wasting your time? Those are the things that I love the most. Those are the things that make me happiest. And that's where it is with that red brick house. That red brick house, oh my Lord. Whew. It's a lot of work. But I tell you what, now it's a thing of beauty. All right, good people. Remember, it's Memorial Weekend. Don't worry about just yourself. Don't you drink and drive. Don't overeat. But watch out, because there's crazies out there that are. And remember, tell the people you love them. You might not get the chance again, and I love you guys. And God willing, I'll see you tomorrow. Oops, turn out the lights. This party's over.